Hey YouTube, it's Sheree. You can call me Shay, Renee, whichever you choose, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, it's welcome to my channel. It's Thursday, August 1st. And today's video is not going to be anything like super duper exciting. I just basically wanted to speak on something that I mentioned in my first video, and if you haven't watched that, I'll leave it in the cards and in my description for you to go back and watch. But I pretty much mentioned that I am a person who deals with anxiety, and I'm also very introverted. So basically, I just want to give pretty much a little background about my anxiety, my struggle with anxiety. I've had anxiety since I was 14, so here we are 18 years later, and it still very much affects me. It may not be as bad as it once was, but it does still affect me in more ways than one, unfortunately. So when I was 14, I had my first anxiety attack. I don't believe that I knew what anxiety was prior to that. I don't think I really had an explanation for why I might have felt the way that I felt over the years, because now as an adult, I can look back on certain things that have taken place in my life, and now I see that, okay, you've had anxiety for quite some time, like way before your first anxiety attack, right? But it only didn't just hit me until just recently. So at 14, I had my first anxiety attack, and it kind of just came out of nowhere. I don't believe I was really going through anything at that current moment, but it happened, and I didn't know what was going on. All I know is I basically was hyperventilating. My chest, my heart was just beating like it was just getting ready to just jump out and just walk away somewhere, and I felt like I was going to die. My family called 911, of course, because they didn't know what was going on, and EMTs came. They're doing the regular checking, your vitals, asking questions, and I remember my sister, she was kind of annoyed because she's like, y'all keep asking her like, oh, what's wrong, like what happened before this, and she's like, she clearly can't speak, but you're asking her these questions, right? So I wasn't able to really communicate to them that I don't know what was really going on. It's just, and they basically came to the conclusion that I was having an anxiety attack. So that was brand new to me, way different from anything I probably ever experienced in my life. And yeah, so over the years, I remember being in high school, I had an anxiety attack during my gym class. They took me to the hospital. I remember one of the nurses or doctor, or it might have been the EMT, I'm not sure, was saying like, what are you so stressed about? Like, you just supposed to go to school, get your education, and be a teenager. Like, what are you stressed about? And of course, in my mind, I'm like, what am I stressing about? I really didn't know where it was coming from. Like, I really was confused, especially that day. I just remember being in the gym and just walking around, getting our laps in, and it just came out of nowhere, and I couldn't breathe. So I really didn't know what was happening in that moment. But then we fast forward to years later, I somewhat feel like I have more of the feelings of anxiety as opposed to me experiencing the hyperventilating and things like that. I don't really have that issue too much. But it does affect me in more ways than one, like I mentioned, because I can really sit back and think about different things that have taken place, and I attribute it to the fact that, okay, yeah, you have anxiety, and this is why you're feeling the way you're feeling. I mentioned in my first video that it's a whole song and a dance for me to go to the nearest store, which typically, if you live in New York, You know that typically stores are on every corner. There might be a supermarket within a 5 block radius of you. Like, it's not far. That's just the truth of the matter, right? So it would usually be like a whole song and dance. Like, I have to go and prepare myself to actually, okay, I have to go outside, I have to talk to people, I have to be around people. I don't want anybody to look at me. I don't want them to say anything to me. Like, okay, what if this happens? Like, my mind is always going, and it stops me from doing a lot of things. Like, there have been instances where, say if I needed to go into a particular store and I'm driving, and New York is, it's busy, especially in the areas where you need to shop. So if I wouldn't get a parking space like literally right in front of the store, I'm not gonna go. I'm just not gonna do it. I would go home and just say, forget it, well, I didn't need it that bad, or I'll try another time and see if I can get a parking space in front of the store. And I know it sounds ridiculous, it sounds crazy, but this is my reality. It stops me from going out. And this is not to say that I don't ever go out, because I do. Of course I do. But there are times where my anxiety is really, really bad, and I won't do something even though that I know that I probably should, or that I probably need to. I just won't do it. I don't go out as often as I should. I don't go as often as I may need to, even if it's something that I probably need from outside. I just refuse to go out. There are times where, say, I may need something that I left in the car, I don't go outside. I'm ashamed of it. I'm embarrassed because I know that it sounds crazy and it sounds like, girl, like, just go outside. Like, it's not that hard. But for me, it is. This past week, I didn't go outside much. I've only been outside once this week, and it was only to move the car, because if you know New York, you know how awesome the side parking gets, and I don't be trying to get tickets, right? But prior to Monday, I went out Sunday only because I had to go to my mom's house. And before that, the last time that I was out was Monday, July 22nd. So basically, almost a whole week, I did not go outside. I did not get out, walk, do anything. And the reason why I feel so terrible about it is because I feel like anxiety has me feeling very guilty as a mom. And I'm sure that there are people who probably can relate, or they know somebody who experiences, mom guilt or dad guilt, guardian guilt, whichever. But for me, my mom guilt comes in because my anxiety stops me from being outside and doing things that are just normal, regular things, right? So my daughter's 11, and of course she's not able to go, many places by herself, because she would of course need adult supervision. But I feel bad because I don't want her to miss out on things because of my anxiety. Now, I don't want anyone to get this misconstrued or confused or whatever. I do go outside if necessary. To take her to school, of course. I'm not going to miss a graduation. I'm not going to miss a performance, an award show, a parent-teacher meeting. I'm not going to miss her birthday. I'm not going to miss those moments because those are considered to be important moments, and I've always been there for those things. I have to muster up the courage to go and just do it, right? No matter how I feel. But when it comes to simple things like take her to the park, that's a whole task for me, and I hate it. I hate the fact that I can't just get dressed and say, oh, I want to go outside and just be regular. because it's a million and one thoughts going through my mind, and it's for no reason at all. A couple of weeks ago, she wanted to go to the park, and I decided, okay, we're gonna go play basketball. Now, she has more of her dad's personality. She's outgoing. She can make friends with no issue, right? So I took her to the park, and she was saying like, "Oh, I don't know anybody." I'm like, "It's okay. Just go ask the little girl who's playing basketball if you can play with her." And she did. And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna sit here in the car." And she was just like, "Why?" I was like, "Oh, you know what? It's too many people, and there's no seats." And that wasn't necessarily the truth, because yes, there were a lot of people, as there usually is when they have parents who have children and there's a park, right? But for me, it was more so I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to have to walk past people to get to the nearest bench to sit down. Because I'm sitting up here thinking, like, oh my God, I have to walk past people, and I don't want them to look at me, and I don't want people to say anything to me, and I don't want, what if I trip? And like, it's just weird things like that, and it affects me being a parent, right? So I feel very guilty, because she deserves to go to the park. She deserves to go places without me feeling like that. I don't want to do that because of what's going on with me mentally, Another way that this anxiety affects me is health-wise, right? If you know anything about lack of vitamin D, you know that it affects you in a couple of ways, right? And I notice it for myself. One, I've tested low in my vitamin D because I don't get out as much, right? I'm inside. The sun is not inside. I don't care how well lit it is in your home, whatever, the sun is outside. You have to get those rays, right? With protection, of course. But I don't get out enough to get any type of sun, right? So I'm fatigued a lot of the times. I feel like I have mood swings, I'm agitated, and these are all because I'm not getting out and I'm not getting sun. Like, it's ridiculous. And I've been prescribed vitamin D for a couple of months, and I'm sure now my levels are still low, and it went back to being low because I don't take vitamin D anymore. I don't have any more to take, even though I know I can purchase it on my own. But I'm also not outside, right? I'm also not getting any type of physical activity because I'm not outside. Yes, I can work out at home. That's not enough. Like, I feel like I need to go out, breathe fresh air, touch some grass, like see nature, just be one with nature, do something. And I'm not doing that. I'm home. So that affects me in that way. And me staying inside is not doing me any good, because what is inside? Me being in my own way, my thoughts, all of the negative, instead of just being outside where I'll be distracted because I'm too busy watching my daughter enjoy herself, or just enjoying being around other people and getting fresh air and enjoying the summer, because my daughter goes back to school like middle of August or close to the end of August, so she doesn't have much of a summer. So I feel bad. Like, I feel bad because I haven't been out to really give her a great summer experience. And yes, we moved, so of course I'm enjoying the space that I'm in. And I know a lot of people probably feel like, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. If you pay to stay somewhere, you're going to get all your money worth. For me, that's not the case. Like, okay, yes, I have my own space, but that doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, stay inside all of the time. Like, you need to go out at some point. I've been putting off going to the nearest store 4 days now because I need, my little essentials in the house. You need some paper towels. I need to get some more hand soap. I need to get some regular soap. And I'm putting it off because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go out and I'm going to have to walk past people. And in my mind, I'm saying, well, you could just drive. Why do you need to drive 2 blocks? It's right there. Why do you need to do that? That's ridiculous, right? But I want to be that girl. I want to be that girl that goes out and I'm comfortable and I feel confident and I feel like, okay, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on outside. You can go out and take a walk. You can go walk the track. You can go shopping, like without jumping in the car just so that you don't have to be around anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I probably need to start therapy again. It's been, I want to say, like 2.5 years since I last went to therapy. And I know that I probably need it. And therapy is not only for when things are not going right, you know, they're wrong or you're feeling bad. It's not only for that. I feel like therapy is necessary. Good, bad, doesn't matter. Whether your life is chaotic or not, it's still a great tool to have. Just so you can speak without feeling like somebody's judging you, or you can also get some type of advice on how you should deal with certain things. So I feel like I need therapy at all times, not just when I'm feeling like how I feel right now. Because therapy definitely was helping me and I felt better 2.5 years ago as opposed to how I feel now. I feel like I'm going backwards and I don't like that feeling. So today, I'm gonna make it my business to go outside, taking my daughter to the park. I found her hoverboard charger, which is the greatest part about all of this. It's charging right now. So we're gonna get ready and we're gonna go out and we're gonna enjoy the sun, enjoy this summer day, and just let me get out of my own way and get out of my own head. I don't care if I go outside and sit on the bench and read a book. I don't care if I go outside and just listen to some music. I don't care if I go outside and I'm just scrolling the internet on Pinterest. I don't care what it is. As long as I get out today, that's all that matters. So I want to take you guys with me and I want to make it my business to at least get out. Maybe 2 or 3 times this week, because this is a start. I'm not going to just throw myself out there like that because I will get very probably drained and overwhelmed. And if you know anything about introverts, you know you can give us a couple days and then they'll be like, okay, my social battery is drained. I've done a lot. It's literally like a thing. Like it's not an exaggeration. It's not, oh, you just putting on, it's a real thing. Like I literally feel it. Like if I go out today, like if I don't force myself to do it, like I won't go back outside for a while. Like I'm fine with staying in the house for weeks. Like I don't have to go outside at all. That's how bad. But we're gonna get out today. We're gonna get some sun. I might take my book with me just so I don't feel so anxious. Even me speaking about it, it's just like, okay, it's okay, it's gonna be alright. Just going to the park, you're doing it to get out. So that's what we have planned for today. I wanna thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'm embarrassed. I am ashamed. Like, this makes no sense. Like, you haven't been outside in days and you're okay with that? Like, what is wrong with you? Right? But yeah, we're gonna go out. So I'll see y'all in a few. stayed outside for about 2.5 hours. It is hot. I am dying. I cannot wait to take a hot shower and just unwind. But I went outside for like 2.5 hours. I sat in the park. I didn't record much of it because I just was on the phone. I didn't take a book like I said. And I did have my headphones with me, but I didn't use them because I don't have like AirPods or like earbuds. I have my Beats and it's too hot for that. Ears just sweating in a bag of time. But I'm happy that I did at least get to go outside and enjoy the weather, get some vitamin D, which is the most important part. And I would have stayed in the park probably a little bit longer, but there were no kids like around my daughter's age. And there were teenagers that came into the park, and you know, when they start getting like rowdy and just doing too much, my daughter just kind of feels like, okay, I don't want to be bothered, and I don't either. I don't blame her. But yeah, we stayed, we sat on the bench. I was on the phone with my sister for a while, and we spoke for a little, maybe almost an hour, I don't know. But I was outside, and that's the best part. I want to do this more often, and I will do it more often. I'm not going to say I want to. I will do it more often, because some days I probably just go to the track and just like walk, have my music. Not on a day when it's hot like this, because it's over 90 degrees, and I am dying. I'm dying. But yeah, I want to go to the track and walk sometime. Even walk around my neighborhood, just get familiar with the area. Even though, like, of course I see what's here because driving, but I want to get out and actually walk. I need to get back into the groove of moving my body again, because in that I am in a car most of the time. When I walk, everything hurts. My legs hurt, my back hurts, my hip hurts, and that's because I'm not getting out and walking enough. So some days I will walk and maybe walk to the supermarket, walk to the mall, and I don't necessarily have to go to the mall to buy anything, but just to get out and, get out and walk and just, browse. Because trying to be more disciplined when it comes to money, even though I know I'm in the process of still trying to, decorate my home, but still, not every time I go to the mall it's going to be because I'm spending money. I just want to get out and see what's around me. But I'm going to make it my business to do this more often, even if my daughter isn't around. And it's so funny that my sister ended up texting me, I believe like an hour or so before we went outside. I was like, oh, did you go to the track anytime this week? And I was like, I didn't make it to the track, but we're going outside today. And she was like, yeah, because she knows, like, I don't usually do things like that on my own. It takes a lot for me to do that, and I know that this might not seem like something that's like such a huge deal, because this is regular normal things that people do. You go outside and you walk and you move around and go food shopping and you do, but those things are extremely hard for me. Like, not every day is the same. I don't always wake up feeling like, oh my god, like I gotta go outside. I guess other times my anxiety may not be so high, and I'm not in my own head about things, so I can get up and say, oh, I want to go to the store, and it won't be such a huge deal. But for the most part, things like this are kind of difficult for me to do, especially by myself. So yeah, I'm gonna make a habit of this. This won't be the last time, and I just want to engage with everybody. So if you want to leave in the comments, if you're a person who deals with anxiety or just any type of struggle, you can comment what your struggle is if you choose to. through, and how do you deal with that struggle? How do you cope? How do you decrease the amount of times that you might struggle or you have anxiety, feelings of anxiety? So leave that in the comment section. And yeah, I want to be able to converse with you guys and see what it is that you do that maybe I can try for myself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Once again, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm being consistent. This is my 3rd video, and I'm actually proud of myself because, again, this was a lot to do for me, okay? But I'm being consistent. Yeah, and that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of the things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!